Sorry guys, that was a call. So I am going to start again with life group number 2. And it is the circle story. This activity will allow kids the opportunity to discuss the Camp Coyote video. The kids will discuss the Camp Coyote video by making their own circle story. So the supplies is they're going to need a bag. And it's going to be filled with different items. They're just all kinds of random items. Okay, so it sounds like we are making our own circle story. Make sure you do not look inside the bag. Each one of you guys will reach in, or every one of you will reach in and take an item out of the bag. You will use this item in your story. When you have said a sentence or two, you'll pass the bag along to the next person who will then reach in and grab and continue the story until using the item you chose. You'll continue until the bag is empty. The first person will start and the story by using once upon a time opening. So let's get started. So you'll grab the bag and keep passing it on and things like that. And they can work in partners and stuff because we don't have 25 items in here, right? So they can just kind of, they'll work as a partner and kind of come up with it. Okay, so the first person says, once upon a time, I was walking down the park and, what should we say? Okay. Once upon a time, we were walking down the park and I found a magic ball. Then they keep it. And you move on. I found a magic ball and a magic shovel or spoon. Whatever they want to make it. I don't know. I'm not creative. But I'm sure they will. So they will work with a partner if you have 12 or more kids. If it's 12 or less, then one person can grab it at a time. But make sure they kind of work together and come up with something. All right, so how was that? Did you enjoy the activity? It's not as easy as it sounds, is it? They respond. Telling a story that will engage the listener and cause them to want to listen isn't easy. A good storyteller can create a wonderful picture in the listener's imagination. That's part of telling a story. Jesus had the ability to hook the listener and create a picture in their imaginations of what he wanted them to learn. So what's your favorite story Jesus told? And kind of go around and get answers. And that's it. That's life group number 1. Moving on to life group number 2. This is called Hook 'em. This activity will allow kids to act out one of Jesus's parables. Kids will choose from one of the parables below and act out as a team. So the first portion is going to be led by the MC. They will have 5 minutes to get their stories acting together, and then they will present. So this is what the MC will say. All right, you guys, I'm going to go around and allow you to choose one of the parables that you're going to act out. Now, you don't know what you're going to get because they're going to be face down. So get ready to look it up in your Bible, read it, and come up with a fun way to act it out. You only have 10 minutes to practice, and you will have 1 minute to act it out. So get ready. Here I come. And she's going to go around with the things face down, and everybody's going to just grab one and then open up your Bible, read it, and get ready to act it out after the activity. Okay, now let's get ready to watch the others act out their parable and get ready when we are called. So at that point, just make sure they're being quiet and attentive and things like that while others participate. All right. Lesson number 3, we are going to be living it out. It's called Live It Out. This activity will allow kids to write their own parable of a life lesson they want to share. Kids will work to write their own parable and share it with the rest of the students. So all they'll need is a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, and that will be in your container or whatever. Okay, so we need to make our own parable, and we only have 10 minutes to do it, so let's get started. We're going to use our imagination, and we're going to write it out on this whiteboard. We're going to use the following guidelines taken from Jesus' example of telling parables to create our own parables. So, number one, we've got to use our imagination. Jesus often used his imagination and not past history or personal examples or experiences. Setting. Jesus usually established the setting of the story within the first 10 seconds. Who, what, where, when, what, why, how. These are questions that help make the story more engaging and informative. Main point. Jesus usually didn't have to highlight the main point because the story did that without needing to be stated. Analogy. Comparison to something similar or alike. Jesus usually established this in his first sentence. For example, the kingdom of heaven is like. Plot. Jesus usually established the plot within the first few seconds of the story. Response. The last sentence is most of Jesus' parables. The last sentence in most of Jesus' parables required a response. For example, how is he then the Son of God? So let's get started. Let's start by choosing a main point. Then we will add to our story. So you can either hold it and, you know, if my main point is love others. Love others or be kind or whatever, you know, what is our... Okay, so what's our setting going to be? Okay, so what, you know, and y'all just keep going and let them use their imagination. If they want to get their own scratch sheet of paper and write it down, that's cool too. I only got 5% left, so I'm going to hurry this up. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory, you know. It's not very hard. Just let them use their imagination, and then at the very end, you or choose somebody in the group to read it out loud for others to hear. All right, and then we have prepare your heart. So for this activity, we'll encourage kids to prepare their hearts. Actually, they're gonna check their hearts through praying for others. Kids will focus on praying for the things in their life that they're struggling with, thankful for, happy about, upset over, and pray for others' needs in return. So all you're going to need is Scrabble letters, and they are all in this Ziploc bag. There's just a whole bunch of letters, and what they're going to do. So let me read it. Today's heart check is going to be focused on praying for the things in your life that you're struggling with. Thankful for, happy about, upset over, etc. Actually, it's about praying for whatever it is in your life that you need prayer for. This activity is called Scrabble Letters. I have Scrabble letters here. There should be plenty of letters for you to choose from. Use the letters to form a word that describes what you might need to talk to God about, how you might be feeling or you need help with, or something you might want to thank Him for. For example, you might get out the letters F-A-M-I-L-Y. To spell family, because you're thankful for family, or maybe your family is struggling with an issue or a problem. You might spell out the word sad. You might spell out sad or whatever word best describes what you want to talk to God about. When everyone has spelled a word, you will lay them out. As you see a particular word, say a prayer for whomever might have spelled out that word. Your prayer for the word sad might be, God, please help the person not to feel sad. Bring happiness to their life. You'll have 15 minutes to do this activity. You may begin. And that's it. And the last one is recap. You know, you're going to allow them the opportunity to recap what they learned by writing their review question. You guys have been doing a phenomenal job at taking the picture of the life group and not just the question, and downloading it on GroupMe. So you have your lap board, your dry erase marker. All right, I need everyone to have a seat. We're going to get ready for some discussion. Okay, so what did you guys learn today? Allow them to take turns. That's awesome. Now we have to come up with a question that we will probably be asking during review week. Whatever we come up with, we will write it down on this whiteboard. I'll take a picture of you guys holding up your question to see if it gets chosen for review week. And that's it, y'all. That is pretty much it for this week. Text me or email me or whatever you need if you have any questions. See y'all Wednesday.